해피 설날. 여러분, 잘 지냈어요? How are you guys? 잘 지냈어요? 한국어 공부 열심히 했어요? How are you keeping up with your Korean studies, guys? So excited to know. 안녕하세요, Johnny님. 안녕하세요. Think there's a bit of delay in the stream. 네. I talk and then I think maybe like 10 seconds later you guys can hear it. It's usually the case. I hate delays in live, but there's not much I can do about it. 여러분, 안녕하세요. Can you guys yes, my microphone is working. Oh, okay, I think you guys can hear me. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. I'm not sure why the delay is so long today. But hello guys. 여러분 안녕하세요. 빌리아나님 welcome back. 잘 들리죠? 잘 들리죠? Okay. Do you know French? Merci beaucoup. Other than that, I don't know any French. I'm sorry. All right, 여러분 안녕하세요. Did you guys get the chance to check out the topic, the 20 questions for topic 2 that I listed, that I attached on the page? 혹시 토픽 문제 확인했어요, 여러분? In the file, there will be 20 questions, and at the very last page, I put up the answer sheet as well. And alongside that file, you can also find the worksheet, which is what you can see on screen right now. I have put it up. I put it up on screen so you can download it if you would like to take notes while you take this class. Okay. 그러면 let's start the class, guys. Today we will be doing not only the reading practice, but we will also learn many new words and grammar points that are frequently used in topic 2 passages. And I have a little surprise gift for you guys. It's not a little gift. It's actually a big gift because I put my effort and heart into it. So I can't wait to show you guys after class. After class, it's of course a study material. I'm sure you can guess it, but it's a quiz and also a Quizlet vocabulary set. So basically, almost all the words we're going to learn today will be listed in the Quizlet set. All right. 그러면 일단은 let's start the class. And before we start with number 1, there's one thing I have to mention, guys. So I'm sure you already noticed it, but you should get used to 다 ending when you're taking topic 2 test. And just in case there are some of you who are not familiar with 다 ending, so let's briefly go over what 다 ending is. So 다 ending is different from dictionary form, guys. It's not a dictionary form. It's actually the 다 ending I'm referring to is actually a unique ending, a unique sentence ending that has different rules for different tenses or whether it's a verb or adjective. So 다 ending can be used in both spoken and written form. And if it's used in spoken form, it's usually in 반말, the casual language, and it's used for your immediate reaction to something. Reaction to something. And when it's in written form, so how do I explain this? When it's used in written form, so what I mean by written form is a form of writing that communicates with the readers. So basically, it applies to newspaper. It could be, formal pieces of writing such as newspaper. It could also be dissertation paper. And it doesn't have to go so far as to become newspaper or dissertation paper. You can also use it in your own journal because you communicate with yourself through writing in your journal, right? And what else? Oh, and it could also be used in the narrations of novels. narrations, etc. So 다 ending sort of. Oh, by the way, written form doesn't include texting, guys, or texting or online chatting, because texting and online chatting are technically not a form of written communication. It's more so a spoken conversation, but it's delivered with text. Do you see what I mean? So it doesn't really apply to this. So nobody used 다 ending in texting or in online chat. They write as if they speak. But in writing form, in written form, we normally use 다 ending. So this test the intention of this test is to check if you guys are, used to written form. So you would better, almost all sentences use 다 ending, so it would be a good idea to get used to 다 ending. And let's briefly go through the grammar rule. So for verbs, present tense, the ending becomes verb는 다. So if the verb ends in 받침, it's either 니은 받침 or 는 and 다. 그리고 if it's past tense, you can end the sentence by conjugating verb in past tense and then add 다. 그리고 for future, it's 거다 or verb 겠다. 그리고 for adjective, present tense, there's no suffix between adjective stem and 다. This is how you conjugate adjective when it's used in present tense with 다 ending. It's just adjective and 다. So it's same with its dictionary form when it's in adjective present tense. For past tense, it's 썼다, adjective 썼다. For future tense, it's 거다. Sorry, 거다. I'm writing really fast because, we're just briefly going over it, all right? 겠다. 그리고 if it's 이다, the present form is just 이다. If it's past tense, it's either 이었다 or 였다. And 읽거다 for future and 이겠다 for 읽거다 and 이겠다 for future. So that's how you can conjugate verb, adjective, and 이다 verb when you use it with 다 ending, 다 sentence ending. All right, so with that said, let's move on to number 1, guys. Number 1. So for questions number 1 through 2 is about selecting the right choice, the most natural one that fits the blank. So let's read this, guys. 책을, book, 많이, a lot, blank, 지식을 쌓을 수 있다. It's not a difficult sentence, right? I'm sure everybody who's in an intermediate level could understand it, if you know the word, of course. So let me use a different color this time. 지식 means knowledge. 그리고 it's better to combine the noun with, it's doing that again. It's doing that flickering thing again, disconnected and connected. 잠시만요. Sorry. I did change the cable. Doing that again. It's one of the most annoying things that can ever happen during live. 잠시만 기다려주세요. Okay, it's back on now. I hope that never happens again. I have a feeling that it'll happen again. And if that's the case, I would have to turn my iPad off and then turn it back on again. But let's hope for the best, guys. So one good way to remember a vocabulary, guys, is to combine a noun with a frequently used verb that is a verb that's frequently used with it. So when it comes to 지식, it's usually used with knowledge to literally mean to pile a knowledge. So it means to build up your knowledge, to build your knowledge. So basically, read many books and you can build your knowledge. So which one do you think is the most correct one? It is 읽으면. 잘했어요. It is number 1. 책을 많이 읽으면, if you read So it has to be condition and result, right? This is the condition. Under this condition, if you read a lot, under the condition of reading a lot of books, you are able to build up your knowledge, right? And let's look at the second choice, 읽든지, 든지. And this is the part where we are going to learn about 든지 grammar. 든지 grammar. So 든지 grammar has two usages, two main usages. So one usage, it's when it's combined, when it's directly combined with a question word such as 뭐, what, 어디, where, 누구, who, 언제, when, 어떻게, how, and it cannot be used with where though. 왜든지는 안 돼요. 왜든지는 없어요. And it means, and by combining the question word with 든지, it becomes question word ever, such as whatever, wherever, whomever, whenever, however, as in anything, anywhere, anyone, anywhere, or in any way. 그러면 I'm sure you guys remember 아무거나, right? 아무거나 also means anything. 그리고 I'm sure you remember that 아무나 means anyone, right? So then what would be the difference between 아무거나 versus 뭐든지 and 아무나 versus 누구든지? 차이점이 뭘까요? What would be the difference, guys? 그러면 what would be the difference? So 아무거나 and 아무나 이거는 sounds like whatever is fine. I don't really care. It has that nuance. I don't really care who it is. I don't really care what it is. It's that kind of anything. Whereas 든지, 뭐든지 or 누구든지 has a more positive meaning and it sounds more full of potential. So if you want to say I can do anything. I can do. 봉순이 아빠님이시다. 차장님 안녕하세요. 새해 복 많이 받으세요. 다음에 또 봬요. 그리고 아무튼 back to class. Where was I? So if you want to say I can do anything, I can do anything. This is such a positive affirmation full of hopes and potential, right? In this case, what would sound most natural, guys? Is it 아무거나 or 뭐든지 할 수 있어요? Which one would be correct, guys? 할 수 있어요? 뭐가 맞을까요? 아무거나, 아무나. 그렇진 않아요. It is not always the case. 아무거나, 아무나는 it's not always used with negative sentences. That is 그렇진 않아요. It's just that 누구든지 and 뭐든지 is always positive and full of potential, and 아무거나, 아무나 is just that you're okay, like you don't care, you know? Just bring me anything, like bring anyone. 그래서 그렇죠. 맞아요, 여러분. 뭐든지가 맞아요. 뭐든지. Because this is such a positive, hopeful affirmation. So in this kind of context, 뭐든지를 써야 돼요. Alright. 좋아요. 그리고 so that's one usage of 든지. 그리고 the second usage of 든지 is when it's combined directly with a verb and then 든지. In this case, it has two meanings, either or, as in listing possible choices. So in this case, it can be interchangeably used with 거나. In this case, 거나, verb 거나. And the second meaning verb plus 든지 has is whether, and it's usually, or I would say almost always, or always in the context of something not being important, such as whether you do this or not, I don't care, that kind of sentence. Or whether something happens or not, like I will do this, like it doesn't matter, I will do it anyways. 그런 식으로 쓰여요. 그러면 verb 든지 부터 봅시다. So when it's used as or, let's make a sentence that contains sorry. What am I saying? That contains 든지. by translating this one, guys, this one. On holidays, I get some rest at home or hang out with my friends outside. So this person is listing the possible, listing two options that he or she does on holiday, which is this one or this one. So you can connect these two with 든지 or 거나. 해볼까요, 그럼? On holidays, you can say resting day. 휴일. On holidays, 휴일에는 I get some rest at home. 집에서 쉬다, right? 집에서 쉬든지 or 밖에서 or hang out with my friends outside. 밖에서 my friends, 친구들이랑 hang out, 놀아요. 이렇게 할 수 있어요. 휴일에는 집에서 쉬든지 밖에서 친구들이랑 놀아요. And another way you can say it is by adding 든지 to the second verb. So 집에서 쉬든지 밖에서 친구들이랑 놀든지 and then you can end the sentence with 해요, because 쉬다 and 놀다 are both verbs. So, it's doing that again. 여러분, 또 이렇게 됐어. It got disconnected on its own again. 잠시만요, 여러분. I'm gonna fix this. 잠시만요. Please, don't do this. I'm begging you, don't do this, iPad. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's back on. There's a possibility that it will do it again. Just if it does that one more time, I'm really gonna have to reboot. I'm not rebooting, but I'm just gonna have to turn it back, turn it off, and then back on again. My iPad. 좋아요. 그 다음에 and let's move on to when verb 든지 means the second one, which is whether, as in you don't care whether, or it's not important whether, right? 봅시다. 여러분, 이거 무슨 뜻일까요? 네가 무슨 선택을 하든지 신경 안 써. 무슨 뜻일까요? 여기서 신경 쓰다 means to care. So 신경 means it means attention, as in attention towards a particular thing or a particular individual or that individual's like well-being or actions. So 신경 쓰다 means to care. 신경 and 쓰다 verb go together. And 상관하다 also means to care. To care. 그래서 you can either say 네가 무슨 선택을 하든지 무슨 means what. It's a modifier that means what. 선택하다 means to make a choice. To make a choice. So, literally, whether you make what kind of choice. So, basically, whatever choice you make, right? Whatever choice you make, I don't care. Like, do whatever you want. Like, make the choice that you want. You don't have to, care about me. 네가 무슨 선택을 하든지 신경 안 써. Or you can say 상관 안 해. 상관 안 해. 상관 안 해. Alright. 그 다음에 또 let's do one more. Whether it rains tomorrow or not, the meeting will still be held. So, in this context, it means this is not really important, right? Regardless of this fact, the meeting will be held. So you can use 든지 in this sentence as well. 그러면 한번 해볼까요? Let's do it together. Whether it rains tomorrow or not. 내일 비가 오다, right? 비가 오든지 or not. You can say 말든지. For or not, we don't use 않든지. 안 rarely or never gets combined with 든지. you can always use 말 for negative verb plus 든지. So 말든지, 비가 오든지 말든지. The meeting, 회의는 still. So still means here, still means as it is, as the same schedule, following the same schedule, right? So in this context, you can use 그대로, as is. 그대로 진행될 거예요. 진행되다. The meeting will proceed, basically. 진행될 거예요. 이렇게 쓸 수 있어요. And I forgot to mention one thing, guys. 든지, for 든지, you can also remove 지 and just say 든. 든만 써도 괜찮아요. 그래서 either you say 뭐든, 어디든, 누구든, 언제든, 어떻게든 다 괜찮아요. 그리고 여기서도 집에서 쉬든 놀든 다 괜찮아요. So that's how you can use 든지. 그 다음에 let's move on to wait. Sorry guys. 잠시만요. Sorry. 잠깐만 기다려주세요. Give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. I think I have the wrong file on. Yeah. I actually tried a demo class before opening the actual class, and I was using that file. Sorry about that. 잠깐만요. Oh, right. Okay. Then I think it's gonna take more than a minute. 잠시만 기다려주세요. Maybe 2 minutes. Bear with me, guys. 잠깐만요. Let me put up a text here. Please give me 1 minute. add. 잠시만 기다려 주십시오, 여러분. 거래 class worksheet. Open. All right, this is the one. So bring it to Notability, make a new file, done, and then boom, there you go. All right, 다시 오픈합시다. All right, we're here. Thank you for being patient with me, guys. Let's move on to number 2, which is the same type of question. Select the most natural one for the blank. So let's do it. 꽃이 피기 시작하는 걸 보니 봄이 blank. So 꽃이 피다 means for flower to blossom. 꽃이 피기 시작하다. For flower to start blooming. 는 걸, that thing, that kind of thing. It's nominalization form of a verb, right? So, flower starting to bloom. 또 이래. Oh my gosh. My iPad is not in the perfect condition. And it's back on. So weird. 일단 계속 해봅시다. Let's do it. Let's hope for the best. 꽃이 피기 시작하는 걸 보니. So 보다 means to see, to look, right? So looking at the flowers starting to bloom. 봄이 blank. 일단은 so first off, guys, the answer is number 2. 온 모양이다. 봄이 온 모양이다. 봄 means spring. 오다 means to come. So it means the spring must have come. It seems like spring has come. So let's learn 는 모양이다 grammar, guys. 는 모양이다. When it's combined with a verb, it's 는 모양이다. The suffix is 는 for present tense. And when it's used with adjective or 이다, it's 니은, 은. It's this suffix you have to use. And then 모양이다. So 모양 itself means shape or appearance. 그래서 it literally means it is a shape or appearance of verb, or it is a shape of appearance or of adjective. So it means it seems like, as in you are guessing. You're taking a guess, or you're guessing or assuming. 그래서, so it's usually followed by verb adjective 은 걸 보니까 in the previous clause. 은 걸 보니 or 보니까. And then verb는 모양이에요. So basically, this is your assumption. The second clause is your assumption, right? And the previous clause that's usually 은 걸 보니까, this is the basis of your assumption. Why you made that assumption. 그래서 여기 보시면 꽃이 피기 시작하는 걸 보니까 now that the flowers are starting to bloom, I'm guessing the spring is coming. So that is why 온 모양이다. The spring must have come. So 여기서 미안해요. If it's past tense, it should be, if it's past tense verb, it should be verb 은 모양이다, which is what is used in this sentence, right? 봄이 오다 plus 니은 모양이다, right? So spring has come. 그래서 모양이다 맞고요. 그리고 another grammar point that is interchangeably used with 는 모양이다 is 나보다 or 은가보다. So when it's combined with verb present tense, it's 나보다. If it's combined with verbs past tense, it's verb 썼나보다. 그리고 when it's combined with adjective 이다, it's 니은 가보다. So you can basically consider them interchangeable, but the difference is that this grammar is used more often in daily, everyday conversation. Honestly, you will barely hear anyone saying 은 모양이다 in a spoken conversation because, I don't know, for some reason, it sounds like you are a smart scholar. I don't know why. 그래서 usually people go with this one when they're guessing, when they're making assumption. So everyday conversation. So let me give you an example sentence, guys. Let's say your friend is not answering your call, and seeing that, you assume that she is asleep. She is sleeping. How would you say that, guys? How would you say that in Korean? So the basis of your assumption goes in the first clause. So 전화를 안 받아, right? Not answering your call. 전화를 안 받는 걸 보니. 안 받는 걸 보니. You guess she must be sleeping. She must be sleeping. You can either say 자는 모양이에요, right? 자는 모양이에요. Or this is completely interchangeable with 자나 봐요. 자나 봐요. Since it's a verb, you can combine it with 나 봐요. 나 봐요. 잠깐만요. Let's add more page for more space. 그러면, how about this one? Seeing that a child is crying. Seeing that a child, 아이, is crying. She must be sad. She must be sad. You're making assumption. That child must be sad. And the reason why you're assuming that is because you're seeing her crying. 여기서는 어떻게 하면 좋을까요? 저 아이가, you can just say 아이, a child. You don't know their identity, so you can just use 아이. 아이가 울고 있어요, right? 울고 있다. 울고 있는 걸 보니. Or, 그렇죠. 장미님도 맞아요. 우는 걸 보니. 괜찮아요? 우는 걸 보니. 슬픈가 봐요. 맞아요. 슬프다. 슬프다 is an adjective, so you must use 니은 가 봐요. 는가 봐요. 슬픈가 봐요. 이렇게 쓸 수 있어요. 그리고 this is interchangeable with 슬픈 모양이에요. So these two are the same grammar, but there is one more grammar point that is used for assuming, and it works differently from the previous two expressions that we learned. In that, this one, let me use a bigger pen, this cannot be used in a situation where both, so the emphasis is on both the speaker and a listener, know about why the speaker makes that assumption. Know about why the speaker makes such assumption. So, do you see the difference, guys, from this description? In these two, they can only be used when both the speaker and a listener share, right? You either say it or you both are, you share that knowledge because either you both are seeing that or hearing that, or the speaker told the listener, right? So either way, the speaker and the listener share the basis of the speaker's assumption, right? But for 을걸, you cannot. So let me give you an example. In this context, guys, you can use 을걸. Let's say one of your friends say, "Oh, I'm gonna call 지수 now. 지수한테 전화해볼게요. 아이고. 전화해볼게요. I'm gonna call 지수 now." And you want to say, "Oh, but she must be sleeping. But she might be sleeping." In this context, guys, what do you think is correct? 지금 자고 있을걸요? Or 자나 봐요. Or 자고 있나 봐요. Present progressive. 자고 있나 봐요. Which one do you think would work in this kind of context? Your friend says, "Oh, I'm going to call Jisoo now." And then you say, "Oh, but she must be sleeping." In this context, you have not told yet the person A about why you make this assumption, right? You don't share that knowledge. You're just saying your assumption alone, right? Whether you make that assumption because you are her best friend and you know that she goes to sleep early, or it's just your wild guess, whatever it is, you don't share that knowledge, right? 그렇기 때문에 자고 있나 봐요 doesn't work because you guys don't share a listener. Don't share, not a listener. Don't share why you make that assumption. So 을걸요, remember guys, cannot be used in a situation where both the speaker and a listener know about why the speaker makes such assumption. In this case, when both the speaker and the listener know about it, you have to use 나 봐요. 그래서 자고 있을걸요가 맞아요. 자고 있을걸요. 내가 생각하는 것에 대해서 아니요. 꼭 그런 건 아니에요. It's not only limited to your assumption alone. It's 을걸요 can only be used when both of you do not share. You and the listener do not share the knowledge of why you make that assumption. Why you make that assumption. 다른 예문도 주세요. 여러분 이거 이해 안 돼요? 이거 이해 안 됐어요? 그럼 하나만 더 줘볼게요. 좀 어렵죠? 조금 어렵나요? 예를 들어서 what's wrong with iPad today? All right. 여러분, I will have to take a break. Sorry about that. I feel like... So, everyone, please give me 5 minutes break, and I think I'll have to fix this iPad issue, guys. It keeps doing that. You guys can come back in 5 minutes, okay? Come on, you let me mute first. 여러분, I think I got it to work again. Yes. Oh, I disconnected another cable which was connected to my mouse for charging, and yeah, it's working now. I don't think we need to worry about that, going on and off thingy, which had been bothering me for ages. All right. 일단 여러분, so for verb 을걸요, I will just leave it at this for now, guys, because I don't think it's a very good idea to just focus like too much on one grammar point because we have so much more to cover. So for now, guys, you can just remember that 는 모양이다 and 나 보다 are interchangeable, and they can only be used when both the speaker and the listener know why the speaker make that assumption. And for 을걸요, it can only be used when only the speaker has that knowledge. The listener does not know why that the speaker is making such a assumption, all right? Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. Maybe this grammar point needs, another separate lesson. And we're going to move on to the choice number 3, which was 오는 편이다. 는 편이다. 잠깐만요. 는 편이다. It's a very frequently used grammar point, guys. So this one, 편 means side. So basically, literally, it means it is on the side of verb or adjective, and it is used when describing somebody or someone's trait or character. So for example, if you want to say you get shy easily, you can say 저는 수줍음을 or 부끄러움도 괜찮겠다. 부끄러움을 많이 타요. or 부끄러움을 잘 타요. You can use this. I get shy easily. 근데 if you say, so this is not exactly the same, so I will remove the equation. 저는 부끄러움을 잘 타는 편이에요. By saying this, guys, you describe your own character or personality in a way that doesn't sound like you're defining it as an ultimate fact. So it avoids sounding too definitive about a person's or something's character, but it still conveys that is usually the case. 그래서 그렇죠. Keith님, tendency 맞아요. So it's like saying you're not always shy. You don't get shy every time, but this happens a lot. I have that tendency. So that is what 편 does. 편이다 does. It makes you sound less, definitive because, traits or characters of somebody, you cannot always be too, definitive about it, right? Too certain about it. So 는 편이에요, I think is a great, expression that you can use when you're trying to describe your own personality or someone else's personality. 는 편이에요. 그리고 okay, 그러면 let's move on to the next part, number 3 to 4. So the questions from number 3 to 4 is about selecting what is interchangeable with the underlined part. 그러면 number 3 봅시다. 시험이 시작되자, exam 시작되다, to get started. 자, so the meaning of 자 is like, 자 is like as in English, as in right after. Right after, and it also has a meaning of because of the first clause, the next thing happened right away. So that is what 자 means. You can think of it as or close to as soon as, or right after, I think would be the most closest meaning. So as the exam started, 시험이 시작되자, 교실은, classroom은, 숨 means breathing, breath, 소리 means sound, so it's breathing sound. 숨소리가 들리다 means for breathing sound to be heard. 을만큼 조용해졌다. It became quiet. 을만큼 to an extent where you can hear people breathing. So this one, the answer of number 3 is 들릴 정도로. And now let's break down 만큼 and 정도를 grammar, guys. 만큼 and 정도로. 일단은 만큼 grammar, 만큼 can be used with both noun and a verb if it's attached, verb or adjective if it's attached with a designated suffix. 그래서 if you say noun만큼, it means as much as noun. As much as noun. Oh, as much as noun. So for example, let's say someone you love, your other half or your girlfriend or boyfriend asks you, how much do you love me? They can say 얼마, how much, 만큼. So 얼마 itself is a noun, guys. So it can be attached to 만큼. 얼마만큼. 나 얼마만큼 or 나를 나 얼마만큼 사랑해? How much do you love me? 이렇게 말할 수 있고 또 얼마만큼 can also be shortened to 얼만큼. 얼만큼도 괜찮아요. 얼만큼 사랑해? And you can say, this sounds really cheesy or corny, but you can say something like 하늘만큼, 땅만큼 사랑해. So this is a Korean version of I love you to the moon and back. And it literally means I love you, 사랑해. I love you as much as the sky and as much as the land. So this is, 네, it's a very, common expression. Every Korean person knows this. At least people that are above 20. 네. 하늘만큼 땅만큼 사랑해. 오, 우주만큼. This is such a great answer. 우주만큼 사랑해. Whole universe. I love you as big as the whole universe is. 만큼 사랑해. This is also a really good, adorable answer. I really liked it. Alright, 그렇게 할 수 있고요. 또 it can also be combined with verb or adjective 을만큼 and then there is a following verb. And this would mean when it's used like this, it would mean you do verb as much as you do verb or adjective. So that's the literal meaning, and it means you do something to an extent where you verb or adjective. To an extent where you verb or adjective. 그래서 예를 들어서 여러분, you can say something like I like Korean food so much that I eat it every day. You can use 을만큼 in this sentence. So, literally, you can write in Korean like this. To an extent where I eat Korean food every day, I like it. 그러면 어떻게 할 수 있을까요? How would you write that in Korean? Literally, how would you say that literally? 한국 음식을 매일 먹다. I have it every day. 한국 음식을 매일 먹다. To this extent, to the extent where you eat it every day, 먹을 만큼, you like it, 좋아해요. 이렇게 말할 수 있어요. 그리고 하나만 더 해볼까요? Let's do one more. My Korean skill has improved, or I will try to write English in a way that sounds less confusing. That could be less confusing when you translate it literally in Korean. So my Korean skill improved to an extent where I can converse Like I can have conversation with native speakers. Native speakers. Let's try this one, guys. Could you try translating it using 을만큼, 을만큼. 일단은 to give you guys some of the words you can use for converse, you can use 대화하다. 대화하다. To have a conversation. 대화 means conversation. 아니면 you can also use simple verbs like 말하다 or 얘기하다, talk. This is also fine. For native speakers, you can use 원어민, 원어민. 그러면 어떻게 하면 될까요? 일단은 this one first, to an extent where I can converse with native speakers, this part would come first, right, in the sentence order. So 원어민들과 대화하다, to an extent where you 원어민들과 대화하다. you can, so you can add 을 수 있다. 원어민들과 대화할 수 있을 만큼. So we finish this part. And the last one, my Korean skill improve. 있을 만큼 한국어 실력이 improve. 늘었어요. 타타요님 거꾸로 했다. 반대로 하셨어요. 반대로. 한국인에게 말할 수 있을 만큼. So the extent part, to what extent, comes first in Korean sentence. And then you say the result. So basically, to this extent, the next sentence. 그렇게 할 수 있어요. 그래서 시인님, 원어민들이랑 대화할 수 있을 만큼 한국어 실력이 늘었어요. Perfect입니다. 한국인이랑 대화할 수 있을 만큼 제 한국어가 늘었네요. Alright, 좋습니다. 그렇게 할 수 있어요. 을만큼. 그리고 을만큼 and 을 정도로 are completely interchangeable. They are used, none of them are used more often than the others. They are just as much. They're used equally common. Let's say that they're used equally commonly. So to break down verb 을 정도로 verb, it literally means to 정도 means extent, degree. So to a degree where you verb, it literally means what 을만큼 means. So you can say 원어민들과 한국 음식을 매일 먹을 만큼, or you can also say 먹을 정도로, right? 먹을 정도로. They mean exactly the same thing. 먹을 만큼, 먹을 정도로. And also 원어민들과 대화할 수 있을 만큼 or 있을 정도로. 이렇게 할 수 있습니다. 있을 만큼, 있을 정도로. 둘 다 they mean the same thing. Alright. So that's what 을 정도로 means. And let's check out some of the other grammar and other choices. Starting from 더라도, 들리더라도. 잠깐만요. So the final translation of this sentence is, as the exam started, the classroom became quiet to an extent where 숨소리가 들리다, where you can hear people breathing. 그다음에 let's learn about 더라도 한번 배워볼게요. 더라도는요. This is similar to 아어도. I'm sure you guys know what 아어도 is if you're at an intermediate level. 아어도, even if, right? It's similar, but 더라도는요 can only be used in hypothetical situations, guys. Can only be used in hypothetical situation. So not, sorry. I think I should put it more like this. In sentences about hypothetical situations. Sentences about hypothetical situations. 그래서 it's only used in imagined. Your imagined scenario. So for example, even if I do not pass the test, I will not be disappointed. 이거 한번 해볼게요. 여기서 you used even if to mean if this happens. You're hypothesizing a situation, right? You're imagining a situation. This didn't happen yet, but if it does, I will not be disappointed. So in this case, you can use 아어도. Using 아어도 is fine because 아어도 has a more broader usage of even if, but you can also use 더라도. So even if I don't pass the test, 시험에 합격하다. 시험에 합격하지. So instead of saying 합격하지 않더라도, it's better to say 합격하지 못하더라도, because when you do not pass a test, so 지 않다 is more like you choose not to do that action, whereas 지 못하다 is out of your, it's beyond your choice. You didn't do it because you couldn't do it, basically, literally, right? So 시험에 합격하지 못하더라도 sounds more natural. 합격하지 못하더라도. 근데 come to think of it, for verbs like 합격하다, 지 않다 also makes sense. 지 않다 also makes sense because 합격하다 is not your own action anyways, right? 합격하다, you pass a test. Passing a test is not your own action. It's a result. So 장민님, I give you that. 합격하지 않더라도 괜찮습니다. 그래서 합격하지 않더라도 or 못하더라도 I will not be disappointed. 실망하지 않을 거예요. 정민님, perfect sentence네요. Now that I see it more thoroughly. 실망하지 않을 거예요. All right. 그리고 let's do one more. Even if your situation, 상황, even if your situation gets challenging, gets difficult, gets tough, you can use 힘들어지다 here, guys. 힘들어지다. And for situation, you can use 상황. Even if your situation gets tough, don't give up. 이럴 때는 어떻게 할까요? How would you say this? Using 더라도. This is also a hypothetical situation, right? Your situation hasn't gotten tough yet, but if it does, right? That's what this sentence is about. So it's an imagined situation, so you can use 더라도. Okay, 좋아요. 시험에 합격하지 못하더라도, even if I don't pass the test, I will not get disappointed. This was the sentence for the previous part. And how about this sentence? How about this one, guys? 이건 어떻게 하면 좋을까요? 상황이 좀 힘들어지다, right? 힘들어지다, verb stem plus 더라도. Don't give up. 좋아요. 포기하지 마세요. 맞아요, 여러분. Keep this in mind, guys. I will too as well. Don't give up. Even if things get tough. It's only natural. There's no shortcut, right? There's no straight path towards your dream or whatever you want to achieve. There will be bumpy roads and you will encounter some difficult situations. But regardless, never give up. We all share that. We all share that destiny. So don't feel like you're alone. All right. 너무 deep 딥해졌네요, 분위기가. 일단은 네, 마지막은 아니고 let's move on to the last grammar question, which is number 4. 집의 분위기는 꾸미기 나름이다. We're beginners? Topic 2 is for intermediate. You have to be at least intermediate level to take topic 2. Let me put it this way. You have to at least finish the beginner course to be able to familiarize yourself with topic 2. 그래서 I think I should have mentioned this, made it clear in the beginning or in the title or somewhere. This class is for intermediate level guys, or at least high beginners. This is topic 2, guys, not topic 1. Please remember that. All right, so let's move on to 기다립니다. 집의 분위기는, the house's atmosphere는 꾸미다 means to decorate, right? To decorate, 기다립니다. And the answer for this is, so basically, the atmosphere of one's house is decorate 기다립니다. And the answer for this is 꾸미기에 달려 있다. So 기다립니다랑 기에 달려 있다 mean basically the same thing. 일단은 기에 달려 있다부터 볼게요. Let's look at verb 기에 달려 있다. 달리다 means to be hung. To be hung. So it's the, how do you say? It's the passive form of 달다. So it literally means, Malcolm님. Yes, please do, guys. Please, let's all hit the like button for this live class. Yes, let's all do. Let's see the numbers go up higher. Give me some encouragement, guys. Shout out to Miss Vicky. 아무튼 thank you. Thank you so much for the encouragement, Malcolm님. 아무튼 달리다 means, so this one literally means something is hanging or hung on the fact on verb ing, literally. So it means something hangs on how you do verb. So it depends. Something depends on how you verb. 그래서 let me give you example sentences. Example sentences, I think, is one of the most crucial parts when learning the grammar points, right? It works even better than explanation itself many times. So, for example, you can say something like, 뭐가 있을까요? 기에 달려있다. What would be a good sentence for 기에 달려있다? Because I only prepare sentence for verb 기 나름이다. Maybe. Okay. They're interchangeable anyway. So let me bring the same sentence. 아이의 인성은 그러니까 인성 means character, but it's a little different from 성격. 성격 is more like your personality, whereas 인성 is more like your integrity, like how good of a person you are, that kind of personality. So 아이의 인성은 a child's integrity, 아이의 인성은 depends on how the parents educate them, right? You can say 부모가 가르치다, 부모가 가르치기에 달려 있어요. 아니면 사실 여러분, what you can also do is just put noun, any noun, and then 에 달려 있다, and this would mean it depends on noun. So you can also say 부모가 가르치기에 or 부모의 교육 부모의 the parents' education에 달려 있어요. Okay. Thank you for the good example sentence. Oh, wait. Will you marry me, Korean teacher? Oh. Wow. Oh, thank you for showing your support. This is such a unique way to show me your love. I take that. It's not, I don't think it's inappropriate. I get it. Thank you. All right. Where were we? Tori님, your test grade depends on how much you study. Okay, this is a good sentence. You can say, 너의 시험 성적, right? 시험 성적, test grade. 시험 성적은 how much you study. 근데요. Here's the thing. 공부하기 나름이다. Okay, I guess how much is also okay. 기에 달려있다 also implies how much. Not just how you do verb, but it also includes how much you do verb, right? Because how is a bigger category and how much is in that category anyways, right? So you can say that, yes. 시험 성적은 공부하기에 달려있어요. 공부하기에 달려있어요. 이렇게 해도 돼요. 시험 성적은 공부하기에 달려있어요. It depends, your school grade depends on how you study, or it could be how much you study as well. All right. So, yes, you can say this. 그리고 기 나름이다도 똑같아요. 기 나름이다 is the same. What 기 나름이다 implies is that the result of something is different depending on how you do verb. So, practically, 기에 달려 있다. Same, right? 그래서 I의 인성은 부모가 가르치기 나름이에요. Let's use red color. 가르치기 나름이에요. 가르치기 나름이에요. You don't need a for 나름이에요. 나름이에요. 그 다음에 시험 성적은 공부하기 나름이에요. 나름이에요. 좋습니다. 시험 성적은 공부하기 나름이에요. 이렇게 쓸 수 있어요. 그래서 집의 분위기는 꾸미기 나름이다. What would this imply, guys? The atmosphere of the house, the result of the atmosphere of the house is different depending on how you decorate it. 꾸미기 나름이다. And I think this applies to, people too. How you how you dress or how you show up to somewhere. Sorry. Never mind about this. I was gonna say, 사람은 꾸미기 나름이다. 사람은 꾸미기 나름이다. 꾸미기 나름이다. Which is true, right? Like how you look is different based on how you adorn yourself. Adorning doesn't necessarily mean putting on expensive accessories or anything, right? It could also mean wearing clean clothes, taking care of your skin, etc. So yes, presenting yourself. Exactly, Keith님. Thank you. 그리고 Exos Butterfly님, the environment of the house is dependent on the decoration. Yes, pretty much. Alright. 그래서 그렇고 그 다음에 여기서 꾸밀 만하다 볼게요. 꾸밀 만하다. 을 만하다도 사실 it's an important grammar for intermediate level learners. 을 만하다. And 을 만하다 has mainly two meanings, guys. First of all, it means so here's the implication. So let me write the implication first in the blank. It's not 100% satisfactory. But this is the implication. It's not 100% satisfactory, but it's worth it. So you can use it when you're not 100% satisfied with something, but you feel like it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad to verb. 그리고 the second meaning it has is something is not that hard. It's not that challenging. It's actually quite doable, manageable. 이럴 때 쓸 수 있어요. Example sentence 봅시다. 일단은 예를 들어서 let's say your friend, you just finished watching a new movie that was released yesterday, or I don't know, somewhere near, maybe yesterday. Yes, let's do yesterday. Your friend asks you, 새로 개봉한 영화. 새로 개봉한 영화. 여기서 개봉하다 means for a movie to release. It can only be used for movie releasing, guys. 개봉하다. 새로 개봉한 영화 어때? Or 어땠어? How was it? How was it? And it wasn't your cup of tea, but then you thought it was okay. It's not bad. It actually was worth my time. So you can, in that case, you can say, 보다, watching, right? 보다, 볼만해요. 볼만해요. 보다 plus 리을 받침, 만해요. 볼만해요. It's okay. It's okay. And it's different from saying 너무 재미있어요. So 볼만해요 is somewhere in the middle of 너무 재미있어요 and 완전 노잼이에요. 완전 노잼. It's somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. 근데 but it's closer to positive. Closer to positive. So 볼만해요. 볼만해요. 볼만해. 그렇게 할 수 있고 또 for second meaning, something is not that challenging. You can say something like 처음에는 at first I thought Korean would be hard, but I realized it's actually not that challenging to learn. 배울만 하더라고요. 배울만 하더라고요. 처음에는 한국어가 어려울 줄 알았는데 배울만 하더라고요. 배울만 하다. It was not 을만하다. It was, not that challenging to 배우다, to learn. 맞아요. So 처음에는 한국어가 어려울 줄 알았는데 I thought Korean would be difficult, but 뭐야. I barely finished the sentence. I didn't finish the sentence. 하더라 고요. Ignore the 도, guys. I don't know where that came from. 배울만 하더라고요. 좋아요. Not that great, but it's not that bad either. Mediocre. 근데 솔직히 말하면 을만 하다는 it's beyond not bad. 그러니까 이게 볼만 하다가 사실 it could be considered a compliment for a movie. 네, 볼만해요 하면은 사실 it's not a bad review, guys. Just remember this, guys. It's closer to positive meaning. It's just that it's not there yet, all right? It didn't meet your expectation 100%, but still I recommend it. More like worth the effort. Yeah, worth your time. Yeah, effort of going to the movie and actually doing it, watching it. Yes. 그래서 좀 positive meaning이라고 생각해 주시면 돼요. You can think of it as something positive, but not fully there yet. You know what I mean, guys? 만해요. All right, so we're done with the grammar part, and it's been more than an hour. Wow. 진짜로, I honestly expected it to be like 40 minutes. Like 40 minutes for the grammar part, and maybe like an hour more for the reading part. 근데 진짜, wow, you can never predict the future. All right. Tori님, it's kind of like it was pretty good. I wouldn't see it again, but I don't regret seeing it. Yeah. You can think of it like that. It still has that positive connotation. Then that's still good. All right. 봅시다. 8번부터 봅시다. So in the file, there were 20 questions, but we're only going to look at 12 questions total. So we have just finished 4 questions. 4 questions, and we have 8 questions. Our remaining 8 questions. So Let's go, guys. Let's go. 다음은 무엇에 관한 글인지 고르십시오. What is the following writing about? 봅시다. 8번. 승강장에서 뛰지 마세요. 승강장 하면요. 여기 사실 승이 승 to break down 승강장, this word, guys. Sorry, let me have a cup of my honey tea. 잠깐만요, 여러분. When learning with you, even hours feel like seconds. Wow. Thank you, 키리님. It's such a pleasure. 고맙습니다. My voice is gone. Can you guys hear it? My voice is gone. 왜 이러지? 갑자기 왜 이러지? All of a sudden? 왜 이러지? I don't think I talked like too much. I think it was as usual. I think it's coming back again. Yes, it's definitely back on, guys. Welcome, my voice. Miss Vicky's voice. Welcome. 여러분, 그럼 해봅시다. 일단은 승 하면은 it's a Sino-Korean word that means to get on. 강 means to get off. So it's a place where you get on and off a transportation. So it's usually used for platform in a subway or train station. 승강장. 그래서 승강장에서 뛰지 마세요. 뛰다 can either mean jump or run. So 뛰지 마세요. Don't jump or run in the platform. 출입문. 여기서도 this is a good 한자 to know, guys. 출 means to go out, to get out, go out. 입 means to go in. So, literally, going out and going in door. So it's like exit and entrance. So it's a door. Usually we call doors for public transportation 출입문, because you can either get on and off using the same door, especially on a train, right? So 출입문이 닫히다, to get close, 을 때는 when the door is closing, 무리하게 타지 마세요. Don't 타다, don't get on. 무리하다. 일단은 무리하다 하면요. 약간 이제 to overwork yourself, overstrain yourself to do something in a way that's above your limitation. That's what it means, guys. 무리하다. 그래서 그렇죠. 장미님, in slangish word, it would be the same as saying 오버하다. 약간 오버하다. 그래서 무리하지 마세요. Don't overstrain yourself while trying to get on a train. Like some people do this when they're late, right? When they're late, when the door's trying to close, they try to squeeze in, but that's really dangerous, right? So this board, this notice is telling you not to do that. So what do you think this writing is about? 안전규칙, safety rules. 신청, application, like applying for somewhere. 방법, method. 사용, using, use. Order, like the order of usage. 교환 means exchange. 안내, so 안내 is a good word, guys, that TOPIK loves to use in their test. 일단은 안내하다 has 3 meanings, guys. 안내하다가 1, 2, 3 meanings가 있는데 it can mean to guide, it can mean to escort physically, and it can mean to give information in the context of a visitor to like an organization or customers. 그래서 to customers. 그래서 여기는 교환 안내하면은 you're basically providing your customers information on how they can exchange their items. 그렇기 때문에 안전규칙 is the answer, guys. 안전규칙 is the answer. 그 다음에 let's move on to number 10. 다음 글 또는 그래프의 내용과 같은 것. 내용과 같은 것. If you look at 내용과 같은 것, you can take it as select the correct answer according to the graph or the reading passage. 일단 그래프 볼게요. Actually, when you're actually taking the test, you don't have to read like these kinds of things. But we're studying now, so let's learn some important words from the title. So, 대학생, university student, 한 달, 1 month, 용돈 하면 이제 allowance, pocket money 란 뜻이에요. Pocket money. So basically, where 어디에 쓸까? Where will they use their pocket money in 1 month? 그러면 볼게요. 일단은, so you don't even have to take a look at, like, thorough look at the graph. You can jump right onto the choice and then compare one by one, right? Because that saves time, right? 볼게요, 그러면. Let's look at the choice first. 용돈 중에서, so among the pocket money, this is the whole pocket money. 물건 구입비. So here, you don't even have to know what 물건 구입비 mean to get this question right? When you're actually taking the test. Of course, it's best to be prepared, but still, you can get this right without knowing it. You can just compare it, right? Oh, it's talking about this one, the 6% element here. 비율이 가장 낮았대요. You don't even have to know what 비율 is. It says 가장 낮았다, which is the basic word that I'm sure you guys know if you're at an intermediate level, which means the lowest. Is this lowest? 아니죠. 물건 구입비 lowest 아니에요. 문화생활비 is the lowest, so this is not the correct answer, right? 그 다음 볼게요. 학원비, okay, it's talking about this 21% thing. 사용은 교통비, okay, it's comparing it with this 6%, 16%. 2배, it's talking about 2배. It means 2 times. 2배 하면 사실 이 배가 좀 중요해요. This word 배 is quite important and TOPIK loves to use it. If you say 2배, 3배, 4배, it means 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So 2배 means twice. But nothing about 16 and 21 can be connected with the word twice, right? So it's not the right answer. If it was 16 and 32, it would be twice. But TOPIK rarely, prefers math, math questions, math-related questions. So you don't need to worry about that. And 대학생들은 university 용돈의 절반 이상을 식비로 지출했죠. 식비 is this one, 53% one. 이건 조금 어려운데 이제 절반 하면 반이랑 똑같아요. 절반, 반 똑같아요. They mean half. 그리고 이상 하면요. If you say something 이상, it means more than something. So more than half, 식비 is more than half. Oh, yes, 53 is more than half, right? 그래서 3번이에요. So if you found the answer, you can just move on to the next question right away when you're actually taking the test. But for today, let's just, thoroughly look at all the choices so that we can pick up some words. 대학생들은 문화생활비보다 교통비를 더 적게 사용했다. So 문화생활비보다 compared to 문화생활비, 교통비가 더 적다. The less? No. 교통비 is significantly more than 문화생활비. 그래서 4번 아닙니다. 4번, sorry, it's not 4번, it's 3번. 그러면 그냥 일단은 그 중요한 단어만 볼게요, 여러분. Let's look at some of the essential words. 여기서 B 하면요. If a noun ends in B, it most of the time means expenses, fee. It's related to money, guys. So 물건, item, 구입하다 means to purchase. TOPIK loves this word as well. 구입하다. 여기다 적어드릴게요. Let me write it. Let me make a separate page actually. 구입하다. TOPIK loves this word. 구매하다 as well. They're all advanced version of 사다. They all mean to buy or purchase. So this one is the cost of purchasing items. So it's like purchase expenses. And 교통비, transportation expenses. I will just omit expense in my writing. 그다음에 학원은요. 학원 usually refers to a private school where you go after school. So this is not a public education place. You actually have to pay to go to 학원 to get classes, usually private classes. It could be group class or one-on-one class, whatever. It is a private education center. So let's just consider like education expenses or maybe like tutoring fee. Let's just put it education. 학원 doesn't apply to public education. 그다음에 기타 means others, etc. 그다음에 식비, I'm sure you can guess it because everybody, I'm sure most people on this earth spend more than half of their money here. I do too. This is the most expensive thing for survival. 식비, what is 식, guys? 식. Eating, right? 비, expense. So it's eating expenses, food expenses. 식비. Very, very important. 정말 중요하죠, 식비. Alright. 그 다음에 나머지. 그 다음 거 가볼게요. 이것도요, 여러분 11번도 마찬가지예요. For questions that require you to 내용과 같은 것을 고르십시오 to find the correct answer, correct choice according to a graph or paragraph, always check the choice first, guys. choice 먼저 읽으세요. And then compare it. And then go up to compare it with the original passage. So let's take a look at number 1. 이 작가가, this writer, 받은 상 means award. So award that this writer received는 작년에, last year, 만들어졌다. It was made last year. All right, so we need to check if it was actually last year. So you can take a close look at something that's remotely close to 작년. So something about 연. 일단 볼게요. 그림책 작가 이수지 씨가 한국인 최초로 어린 책 노벨상을 주고받고 있다. 이 상은 1900 여기 있다. Here it is. This is the information about the year. But it says 1956, which is definitely not 작년에 1956년에 만들어진 상이니까 아닙니다. Let's move on to number 2. 이 작가는 한국인 중 처음으로 이 상을 받았다. So this is actually, if you look at the essence of this question, it's actually a vocabulary test. So 한국인 중 처음으로 이 상을 받았대요. Then you have to find the word that aligns with 처음으로. 일단 그림책 작가 이수지 씨가 한국인 최초로. There you go. You need to know this word to get this right. 최초 comes from the Chinese character 최, most, 초, early. 그래서 earliest니까 뭐예요? earliest니까 처음으로죠. Right? For the first time. So 이 작가는 한국인 중 처음으로 이 상을 받았다 means among Korean people, for the first time received this award. So it's like saying she was the first ever Korean to receive this award. So 최초로 proves that this is correct. 한국인 최초로. As a Korean, she was the first. That's what it means, guys. 한국인 최초로. 예를 들어서 뭐가 있을까? BTS는, you know, the boy band BTS는 한국 남자 아이돌 그룹 최초로 빌보드 1위를 차지했습니다. or 달성했습니다. 이런 식으로 쓸 수 있어요. So basically what it's saying is BTS was the first Korean K-pop male idol group to win how do you say? 빌보드 1위. 1위 on Billboard. right? 그렇게 할 수 있어요. 뭐뭐 최초로. Something something 최초로. The first ever something to do to something great. 그래서 일단 요거는 2번입니다. 2번. 그리고 다음 것도 볼까요? 다음 거? 일단은 한번 볼게요. 다음 것도 그냥 빨리 볼게요. 이 작가는 자신이 직접 경험한 이야기를 그림으로 표현했다. 직접 하면요, it means on one's own, like yourself. It also means in person, depending on the context. But here, 이 작가는 자신이 직접 경험한 이야기를 그림으로 표현했대요. So we need to find out if this is actually what she experienced herself or someone else's experience. 이걸 보면은 it's right here, guys. 이 작가는 어린이들이 꿈꾸고 상상하는 세계를 그림으로 표현했대요. 어린이들이 children dream of and imagine 하는 거라서 it's not a story that she herself experienced. 다음에 the reason why number 4 is wrong is it's a little tricky, but let's try it. 이 작가는 자신의 작품 중 한 편을 골라서 so this is the point. This is the important point. She selects one piece among her 작품. 여기서 작품은요. 작품 refers to a piece of artwork. So novels, writings are also art, right? So you can call someone's piece of novel, piece of story as 작품 as well. So you select one story, one of your novels, and then you submit it. 근데 여기서 보면 모든 작품을 대상으로 심사한대요. Basically, they evaluate it with every piece they have as a target or subject. Every piece they have becomes a subject of evaluation. 모든 작품을 대상으로 심사하기 때문에 number 4도 아닙니다. So that's why the answer is number 2. 다음 거 가볼게요. Alright, this is so exciting, guys. This is kind of like a game. It kind of feels like a game. So assembling these sentences in the correct order is what this question is about. So let's start from number 13, guys. So when you're on these questions, 13 to 15, I'm sure you intuitively know that you should look for the opening sentence, right? If something doesn't sound like an opening sentence, like a sentence that would appear at the first of a paragraph, or it has some elements in a sentence that require additional context that hasn't been given yet, then you can leave that out, right? 일단 볼게요. 가 봅시다. 가에 그러나가 있어요. 가 has 그러나, but always requires a context, right? So 가 cannot be at the front part. Let's search for the front sentence, right? Opening sentence. 사람들은 people usually 이를 닦을 때 when they're brushing teeth, 순서 means order. 순서에 별로 신경 쓰지 않는다. We learned this word, right? 신경 쓰다, to care. They don't really care about the order, like the order of brushing their teeth when they brush their teeth. Oh, this actually doesn't lack. This actually sounds like an opening sentence, right? It doesn't lack any context. It itself as a context, it feels like, right? 그래서 나는 let's just leave 나 with a square. 바로 가봅시다. 전문가들은, experts들은 안쪽 구석 inner corner에서부터 starting from inner corner 앞쪽 방향 the front direction 이 좋다 is good 고 조언합니다. They advise that this is good. Oh, okay. 일단은 you are sure that 다 comes somewhere after 나. So let's place it like this first. 그다음에 let's move on to 다. 안쪽이가 상하기 쉬워서 더 꼼꼼하게 닦아야 하기 때문이다. If you look at the last part, it's 기 때문이다. So it's providing reason for something. So what do you think this one is the reason of? What do you think this is the reason for? 안쪽이가 상하기 쉬워서 the inner teeth 이가 상하다 means for teeth to go bad, for teeth to rotten tooth. So for you to have a toothache. It's easy to get a toothache for inner teeth. So, 더, more, 꼼꼼하다 means thorough. You have to thoroughly brush. That is why. Oh, this sounds like a reason for number 다, which was about experts advising you to start from the inner corner. And it's because inner teeth are easy to go bad. Oh, so it's like 99%, you're 99% certain that 라 comes right after 라. 사실 이것만으로도 정답을 찾을 수 있어요. With this alone, you can just find the answer without having to read 가, because it's right here. 나, 가, 타라 is the only one that fit this order. Right? 그래서 1번이 맞아요. 1번이 맞습니다. So when you're taking an actual test, you can be really strategic with it. Right? Of course, though, foundation is important. You absolutely need knowledge on grammar and vocabs, but strategy, I think, is also important. So try to save your time. If you're certain that this is the answer, go for it, guys. Go for it. But of course, to have that certainty, you would have to have confidence in your grammar and words, right? 그래도 mix that with strategy, you're gonna get amazing results. All right. 그 다음에 일단은 그렇게 해서 답이 1번이고요. 그냥 let's look at number 가, just because we're studying, we're not actually taking a test. So let's look at the sentence that we haven't covered. 그러나, but 이를 닦을 때는 when brushing your teeth, 순서에 맞춰. If you say noun에 맞춰, it means you adjust something to noun. You follow noun. So you follow the order and brushing it is good. 그렇기 때문에 what do you think this but is against? This but is obviously against people not caring about the order of brushing their teeth. Right? Because it clearly says here that it is better to do that. 그래서 나가 다라가 됩니다. Alright. 그 다음에 number 14. Number 14. 그 사업, 이제 이것도 볼게요. 그 사업, you see 그 사업, that business. Lack of context right there. We don't know what that business is. We need more context. Ka is clearly out. 친구들은 마지막까지 퇴사를 다시 고민해 보라고 했다. My friends, 마지막까지, until the end. Basically, they didn't give up, right? Until the end. 퇴사하면요. 퇴는요. 퇴 is kind of like getting off, as in you're no longer there. 그리고 사 means company. So it literally means getting off a company. So it means you resign from your workplace. You resign. 그래서 퇴사를 다시 고민해 보라고 했대요. So they basically told me what to do, which was 퇴사를 다시 고민해 보다. 사실 고민하다가요. If you look up this word on the dictionary, it might say something like worry, right? But it's a little different from worry. 고민하다는요. It's more like you think about something thoroughly before making a decision. So it's kind of like contemplate or to think a lot about something before making a decision. 고민하다. 그래서 고민하다는 걱정하다랑 좀 달라요. They're different. 걱정하다 means to worry. So now this is the real worry that we all know of. But 고민하다 is a little different. 그래서 퇴사를 다시 고민해 보라는 뜻은 it's like saying reconsidering. 다시 고민하다. Recontemplate. Reconsider your decision to resign. 퇴사를 다시 고민해 보라고 했다. So depending on the context, 퇴사를 다시 고민해 보다 can mean consider quitting or consider not quitting. It depends on the context, right? But in this context, it's like not to resign from the company. 근데 actually this doesn't feel like an opening sentence, does it? Right? 왜냐면 it sounds like there has to be more context on you, whether telling your friends that you're gonna resign or telling the audience that you're gonna resign. So let's leave this with a square and move on to the next one. 내일은 tomorrow 내가 10년 동안 다니던 회사를 그만두는 날이래요. 10년 동안 for 10 years. 여기서 더는요. 던 is a past tense modifier of verb. So it can be used with a verb that you no longer do, that you used to do, or will no longer do. So if you say 10년 동안 다니던 회사, 회사를 다니다 means you work for that 회사, you work for that company, right? So a company that I have been working for 10 years but will no longer work there, right? 를 그만두는 날이래요. 여기서 아까 여러분 퇴사 기억나시죠? 퇴사하다 is a Sino-Korean word. 그리고 회사를 그만두다. This 그만두다 is a pure Korean verb and they mean the same thing. It means you quit your job, 회사, quit your company. Quit your company, and 퇴사하다, also quit your company. 그만두다 can also be used for anything that you quit. You could quit 공부, right? Or 학교. You could quit school. 학교를 그만두다. Sorry, I take back what I said about anything. It cannot be used for anything, but it's usually used for quitting a bigger organization, like quitting being a member of a certain organization, whether it be school or company, or actually it can be used with 공부를 그만두다. Actually, sorry, it's back on. I think you can use it with pretty much anything that you choose to quit. 공부를 그만두다, 뭐 운동을 그만두다, to quit playing sports or exercising. So it means to quit. So let's come back to our 문제. 그만두는 날이다. It's a day when I quit my company. This sounds like an opening sentence, right? 일단은 다가 먼저고 그 다음에 나 definitely feels like it may come after, somewhere after 다. 하지만 나는 오랫동안 생각해온 사업을 시작해 보려고 한다. 볼게요. 오랫동안 for a long time 생각해온 사업. 여기서 생각해온 오다 조금 중요해서 설명을 좀 할게요. 오다. 오다. I'm sure you guys know what 오다 means, right? It means to come. And when it's used as an auxiliary verb, 오다, you can think of it as something that's nearing the present. So this is the present. Like now. Now. This is now. And you started a certain action. Here, you started this action. In this case, 생각해오다. You started the action of 생각하다 somewhere in the past. And by saying 생각해오다, it has a feeling of you started this action sometime in the past and you have been doing it till present. It has come all the way to the present. So you can think of it as one way to use present perfect in Korean. It's not equivalent to English present perfect, guys. Don't get me wrong. But it's one way to use present perfect. 오다. 그래서 if you say 오랫동안 생각해온 사업 means business. So business that you have been thinking about for a long time. 시작해 보려고 한다. 시작해 려고 한다. 여기서 려고 한다도 중요해요. 려고 하다도 I think 려고 하다 is one of those grammars that a lot of learners know what it is, but then they don't really. So let me give you just brief explanation of 으려고 하다, guys. 으려고 하다는요. mainly 세 가지 뜻이 있어요. It's about sharing your plan. Usually something that you'll do in the near future, including right now, in the near future. So that extends to the meaning of to be about to verb. To verb. To be about to verb. And when it's used in this meaning, it can only be used. It can only be used. Forget about what I said about it can only be used. It can also be used like this. 으려고. And then that's it. 으려고요. So you can just end the sentence like this. 예를 들어서 I plan to go to Korea next week. Let's say. You can say 다음 주에 한국에 가려고 해요. 괜찮죠? 가려고 해요 is okay. But you can also say 가려고요. I'm planning to go to Korea next week. 그리고 the third meaning that it has is to try to. To try to. 그래서 actually this is the most common usage. And so this 려고 하다 is obviously for your future plan. So I'm planning on starting the business that I've been thinking about for a long time. So what do you think this 하지만 is against, guys? 하지만 is against. It's against your friends advising you to reconsider your resignation, right? 그래서 라는 사실 나 바로 뒤에. You can kind of easily guess that la would come right next to 나. 그 다음에 그 사업이 쉽지는 않겠지만 한번 시도해 보고 싶다. So we now have the context of what that 사업 is, right? And this 사업 can go right after la because la is the only sentence that has 사업 in it. So no space. 다 나라가 맞죠? 다 나라가. 그래서 4번이 맞습니다. All right. We have, how many more do we have left? One. Oh, we have another grammar lesson coming up. Okay. I'm not sure if we could finish all of them and do the quiz as well. The quiz has 17 questions. Let's see, guys. Let's see. I hope that it doesn't go over 2 hours and 30 minutes. Let's see. 일단 볼게요. 다음 거. This one also has lots of good words. So I'm really excited about this. 일단은 빈칸에 들어갈 말로 알맞은 것. Select the most natural one for the blank. 보겠습니다. 빨리 읽을게요. 여권, passport. 여권은 장민이 할 수 있어요. Okay, we can do it, guys. We can do it. 여권은 국제 신분증으로 international 여기서 신분증 하면은 ID라는 뜻이에요. As in ID documentation. So 증 comes from 증거, which means proof. So it refers to any kind of document or ID card that could prove your 신분, which is your identity, your social identity. 신분증. 그래서 ID로 통하다. 통하다 means to communicate. It also means to pass. It pass as international ID 을 뿐만 아니라. So let me give you the meaning first. It means not only. So not only does a passport pass as an international ID. 그 다음에 you can guess that the next part is about but also, right? 한 국가의 one country's 정체성. 여기서 정체성 하면요, it also means identity. So 신분 is more like your social identity, whereas 정체성 is more like your own unique identity. So this 성 means character. So it's kind of like your own unique characteristic. So identity. It could be used for an individual or it could also be used for a country. So one country's identity and culture를 드러내다. To reveal. It also 기도한다. It also reveals the culture and identity of a certain country. 일단은 여러분, 을뿐만 아니라 이것도 굉장히 very, very important grammar point라서 빠르게 let me briefly go over it. It's not that difficult, guys. I promise. 일단은 뿐은요. 뿐 means only예요. Only. It's a noun. It's a noun. But it cannot be used on its own. So it's kind of like 대, guys. 대. You know that 대 means place, but it can never be used alone to mean place, right? 뿐 is kind of like that. So 뿐 means only. If you say noun뿐이다, noun뿐이다, it means it is only noun. It is only noun, as in there is only noun. There is only noun. So you can use it to flatter someone. For example, if you say, 너뿐이야, 너뿐이야. It means there is only you, as in I only have you, or you are the best. 너뿐이야. 아니면 집에, at home, 저뿐이에요. 집에 저뿐이에요. Basically, there is only me at home. So I'm the only one at home. 그래서 요거는 이제 집에 저밖에 없어요. You can interchangeably use it with 집에 저밖에 없어요. 쓸 수 있어요. 그리고 뿐이다 can also be used with verb and adjective, but when it's used with verb and adjective, it becomes a different meaning from noun 뿐이다. So noun 뿐이다 is more about there is only one thing, whereas verb 을 뿐이다는요, 요거는 it has two main usages. Two main usages인데 일단은 it's used when you are, so to break it down, guys, it literally means it is only that something, verb or adjective. It is only that. It is only that. So it's used to kind of minimize or even undermine a certain situation. So kind of like reducing something to it's only that. You know what I mean? So minimize, undermine a certain situation or even a quality. 아이고. Quality. And because of this usage, it can also extend to this usage, guys, to humbly express your own situation. Own situation or quality. 이렇게 할 수 있어요. 그래서 let me give you an example sentence, guys. Of course, example sentences are the essentials. So let's say someone tells you, you're Korean, you learn Korean so fast. You must be a genius. 한국어를 how did you learn it so fast? 어떻게 그렇게 빨리 배웠어요? 어떻게 그렇게 빨리 배웠어요? And in response to this, you wanna not undermine, but minimize it. 잠깐만요. So let's add, you must be a genius. 천재인가 봐요. We learn 인가 봐요, right? You must be. It's guessing. You must be a genius. 천재인가 봐요. But in response to this, you want to, you want to say, no, it's not because I'm a genius. It's only because I worked hard. you can use 을 뿐이에요. 을 뿐이에요. So you can say something like 아니에요. No, it's not that. 열심히 노력하다. 노력하다. And if it's combined with past tense, you have to conjugate the verb in past tense and add 을 뿐이다. So 을 뿐이에요. 열심히 노력했을 뿐이에요. It's just that I worked really hard. So it's used in that kind of way to kind of minimize. I'm not sure if minimize is the most perfect word to describe 을 뿐이다 grammar, but I'm sure you kind of get what I mean. 을 뿐이다. 을 뿐이에요. 그렇게 쓸 수 있어요. 그리고 뿐이다는요. It's also often used in this grammar. 을 뿐만 아니라. So 뿐만 아니라, for 뿐만 아니라, you can either combine it with noun. 뿐만 아니라. It's written here. I don't have to write it again. Noun뿐만 아니라 and another noun. So literally, if you break it down, it means not only. So there's double only. I'm not sure why it works this way. It's just the way Korean, this expression works. So you guys can just memorize it. 뿐만 아니라, not only noun, but also noun. So this is the equivalent of not only, but also in English grammar, English expression. And it can also be combined with verb or adjective by adding 을 suffix. So it's like saying 뿐만 아니라, not only does it verb or not only is it adjective, and it's often followed by this. It's also verb 기도하다. It's also a verb or adjective, which is exactly what this sentence did. 여권은 국제 신분증으로 통할 뿐만 아니라 not only does it pass as an international ID, but also 한 국가의 정체성과 one country's identity and culture를 드러내기도 한다. You can see 뿐만 아니라 기도한다 connection here, right? It also reveals. 그런 다음에 이제 볼게요. Let's move on to the next sentence. 그래서 많은 국가들은 many countries 여권의 passports blank를 결정한대요. They decide the passport something. We don't have enough clue, right, to find the right answer. So let's read further. 여권 표지의 색깔을 passport 표지 cover a color. So the color of the passport's cover 국가의 상징색으로 표현하거나 여기서 보시면 국가 means nation, right? 상징 아주 중요해요. 상징. It's also one of the words that TOPIK likes to use. 상징. 상징하면 symbol이란 뜻이에요. 그러면 상징색은 무슨 뜻일까요? 상징색. There's symbolic color or symbol color, right? 그래서 they put up basically they use their nations so the color that symbolizes their nation as their passport cover color. So 그거로 표현하거나 they either do that, they either express it that way or 국가를 상징하는 문양을 넣기도 한대요. 국가를 상징하다. So 상징 means symbol, and obviously, I'm sure you guys can guess, 상징하다 means to symbolize, right? To symbolize. 그래서 국가를 상징하는 문양을 넣기도 한대요. So 문양 means pattern, but when it's used in the context of like national pattern, it means emblem. 문양을 넣기도 한대요. They even put emblem on the cover, right? 그러면 사실 여기까지만 봤을 때 we can kind of get the hint of what the answer is. 일단 볼게요. 이것도 사실 단어 문제예요. 단어 문제인데 단어를 많이 알아야 맞출 수 있는 문제예요. It's the kind of question that you can get right if you know the words. So let's see. 두께를 자율적으로 두께 means thickness. I'm sure if you think of this adjective 두껍다, which means to be thick, you guys can make connection with these two words. 두께 and 두껍다. 두께 and 두껍다. But thickness doesn't have anything to do with what's expressed here, right? So whatever 자율적으로 means, this is not the answer. 자율적으로 means autonomously, by the way. 두께 아니고 디자인. 디자인 sounds like something that would work because they were talking about the cover of the passport, right? How to color it, what kind of emblem they put. So let's leave this. 이용 범위, usage scope, nope. 발급 방식, 발급도. It's also one of the words that TOPIK loves to use. I think this maybe appear every single year. Maybe I'm wrong, but they really like it that much. 발급하다 하면요. To issue예요, issue. To issue, not anything, but documentations, certificates. So 발급하다 can be used Sorry about my writing, guys. Handwriting for English. Certificate. So it's like, so you can use 발급하다 when you're issuing a passport as well, right? 근데 it has nothing to do with 방식 of 발급, the method of issuing it, right? 그래서 the only possible answer is number 2. 그래서 디자인을 신중하게. 그래서 사실 even if you don't know every single word in a choice, you can figure it out by the words that you do know. So that would be one of the strategy. Of course, it doesn't work with every single question, but 그래서 아무튼 the best would be for you to have, to know lots of vocabularies and really work on your vocabularies before you take the test, right? That would be the best. 일단은 그래서 디자인을 신중하게고요. 신중하게 means 신중하다도 사실 중요한 표현이에요. 신중하다 means to be prudent. To be prudent. As in you think a lot before making a decision, right? You don't rush. You're not, how do you say? My mind is going blank, guys. 아무튼 신중하다. You're very cautious, right? You don't just choose anything, right? You think over and over about something and then make a decision. So that's what 신중하다 is. 그 다음에 볼게요. 오웬님. 잠깐만요. I'll get back to your question later. But this is our last passage, guys. Yes. After we're done with this, we're going to go over the review quiz. All right. So, 봅시다. This one has 2 questions for 1 passage, guys. 2 questions for 1 passage. 일단은 흥미와 재미 요소를 내세워. 흥미, 재미. 일단은 흥미랑 재미는요, they both mean interest. But to be more specific, 재미 is more like fun, as in elements that are interesting elements. Whereas 흥미 is more like interest with curiosity and fascination. With curiosity and fascination. So you can kind of sense that 흥미 is a more deeper interest, almost like zeal. 그래서 아무튼 this kind of element를 내세우다 means to put something among many others up front. Literally, that's what it means. So it means to highlight that. So they highlight the elements of fun elements, 내세워서, and then 홍보하는 마케팅. And then they 홍보하다, advertise, to promote. That kind of marketing 전략 means strategy. That kind of strategy가 주목받고 있대요. 주목받다도 토픽이 진짜 좋아하는 단어예요. 주목받다. 토픽이 엄청 좋아해요. 주목받다. It literally means it's also a Sino-Korean word which means to get main eyes, main eyes. So attention. So it means to receive an attention, but not just any attention. It's more getting attention from broader audience in general. Getting attention in general, not just to specific group of people, but just in general. Whether it be society or whether something grew so big and it cannot but draw attention from people, right? Or whether it works so well, it's so effective. It's rumored to be so effective, so it cannot but garner attention. That's what 주목받다 is. So that kind of marketing strategy is getting more and more attention from the broader audience. 이런 마케팅은, this kind of marketing, 소비자, 이것도 사실 토픽에서 in topic passages there is either one or two passage about economy, and 소비자 is almost always there, guys. 소비자. 일단은 소비자도 진짜 좋은 그러니까 많이 쓰이는 단어인데, 소비하다 하면 consume이란 뜻이에요. 소비하다, to consume your money, energy, 그럴 때. 다음에 소비자는요, I'm sure you can guess it, consumer. So, 소비자의, consumer의 호기심, curiosity, 자극한대요. It provokes, it stimulates their curiosity, and 구매로 이어지다, 뭐뭐로 이어지다 means to lead, literally to be connected to something, to lead to something as a result. So it leads to 구매. 구매 아까 기억나시나요? I highlighted it over and over again. 구입하다, 구매하다 is two of the words that topic likes to use. They're all about buying, right? 구입, 구매, buying, purchasing. 그래서 개하다 is a causative grammar that means to make. So it makes it lead to actual purchase. So basically, this kind of marketing stimulates consumers' 호기심, curiosity, and makes them lead to purchasing, make them purchase the item, right? 그러나, however, 제품 means product, goods. Product. 제품의 품질. So 품 is a Sino-Korean word. 품, the 한자 for 품 actually looks like this, guys. Isn't it so interesting? This looks like boxes. It actually looks like goods, doesn't it? So this 품 means goods. It comes from this 한자. 질 means quality. So 품질 means quality of the product. So 하지만, but 제품의 품질이, if the quality of the product 소비자의 기대에 미치지 못하는 경우, consumers 기대, expectation에 미치다. 여러분, 미치다 무슨 뜻인지 알죠? I'm sure if you watch K-dramas, you surely know what 미치다 means. 너 미쳤어? 들어봤죠? 너 미쳤어? So 미치다, first of all, it means to go crazy. 근데 it has another meaning, which means to reach. So not for everything, it cannot be used for every noun, but for something intangible and abstract. So something like 영향, right? Or 영향, influence, or even 기대, expectation. You can say if you say 기대에 미치다, it means it reached their expectation. So it met their expectation, right? 근데 보면은 여기서 기대에 미치지 못한대요. 못하는 경우, in case the quality of the product 소비자의 기대에 미치지 못하다, doesn't reach consumers' expectation, so doesn't meet their expectation. In that case, 경우 blank 브랜드 이미지까지 나빠지기도 한대요. Brand image. So 까지 means 까지 first meaning is to, as in like until, right? But here, 까지 can also mean even, like even that. Even that. Something else too, and even that. 그래서 못하는 경우 Even your brand image can 나빠지다, can go bad, can suffer. 나빠지기도 한대요. 그러면 여기에서 which adverb would suit, would fit this blank, guys? Which one? 일단 볼게요. 여기에 굉장히 so at first I was hesitant to include this passage just because I worried that it would take too much time, but I included it because of this question, guys, because there is such an important word included in here. Two important words. 일단은 요나님 잘하셨어요. 오히려가 답이 맞아요. 오히려가 답이 맞고요. So I'll explain why. 일단은 let's look at 과연 first. 과연은요, 사실 이제 뭐 indeed라는 뜻이 있어요. 처음에 like as expected. 근데 when 과연 is used in spoken form, it's rarely used this way. If 과연 is used to mean indeed or as expected, it's usually in written form. And in spoken form, it's usually used in questions to show your doubt or suspicion. For example, if you want to say, do you think I can do it? Do you think I can do it? In this sentence, we can sense some sort of doubt, right? Some sort of doubt. So you can add 과연. 과연. By adding 과연, you're expressing your doubt in your question. 과연 내가 할 수 있을까? 과연 내가 할 수 있을까? 과연 내가 할 수 있을까? 그리고 또 있어요. 그리고 another sentence. Let's say someone said, 지수 said she's sick. 아파서 so she can't come. 못 온대. And if you want to show your suspicion, you don't believe that she's sick. Then you can say, 과연 아플까? 과연 진짜 아플까? So you're showing your suspicion. You're expressing that you don't really believe that. 과연 진짜 아플까? 일단 그런 뜻이에요. 일단 여기는 맞지 않아요, 여기에는. 그리고 비록 means although라는 뜻이고 it's usually followed by 지만. 비록 뭐뭐지만. And 비록 is very rarely used in everyday conversation. It's you will mostly encounter this word in writings. 그래서 I'll just give you one simple example sentence. 제가 비록 뭐라 할까요? 제가 비록 Oh my gosh. I thought I had a good sentence in my head, but I think it's gone for some reason. 제가 비록 let's say 가난하지만 So although although I'm poor, 제가 가난하지만 열정 하나만은 대단합니다. 열정만은 대단합니다. My passion is so great. My passion alone is so great. So 약간 비록지만은 it's rarely used in everyday conversation, and if it's used in everyday conversation, it sounds very serious like this. 이렇게 쓸 수 있어요. 그다음에 okay, so this will be our so these two will be the last thing that we learn in this class. We're going to skip number 20, okay? So because I think it's going to take a lot of time to explain 차라리 and 오히려, and we also have the review quiz to solve. So yes, let's take this as our final vocabs to learn. So 차라리 and 오히려. Okay, 장미님, 아주 좋아요. This sounds more simple, a better sentence than what I just made. 비록 어려워 보이지만, although it looks difficult, 잘 할 수 있을 거예요. We will be able to do it. Thank you for such a good sentence. 일단 차라리 볼게요. 차라리랑 오히려 비교해 볼게요. In English, they both mean rather or instead. 오히려 means rather or instead as well. So what is the difference exactly? 예를 들어서 차라리 means rather or instead, as in choosing the lesser of two evils. So it's basically used to compare two choices that are just as bad, that are equally bad. Well, maybe not equally bad, sorry, I take back what I said, that are both not favorable, that are both bad, but rather than the first one, I would choose the next one if I have to choose one of the two. 차라리 means that kind of rather. So I will give you an example sentence, guys. Let's say you really, really don't like to study. You hate studying. Then you can say 잠깐만요. 이게 또 this involves another grammar. 차라리 involves one more grammar, guys, which is 느니. So 차라리 is often used with 뭐뭐 하느니, verb 느니. 차라리 the next verb. 차라리 verb 뭐 하겠어요. 할 거예요. verb 할 거예요. So here's the example sentence, guys. 잠깐만요. To break it down, it literally means rather than this whole thing. It's so hard to translate this in English because if I try to literally translate it, it doesn't make sense. So guys, what I recommend you do is just memorize. Just take this whole expression and memorize it. Just get used to the example sentences that you encounter. So I'll give you an example sentence right away. Let's say you really, really don't like studying, and you would rather watch a boring movie the whole day rather than to study. Both are bad, right? Watching a bad movie and studying is both bad for you. But still, I would choose the latter, right? In that case, you can use 느니, 뭐뭐 하느니, first verb 느니, 차라리, second verb. 그래서 공부하느니 차라리 재미없는 영화를 하루 종일 보겠어요. You can use future. Usually it's followed by future tense because you're hypothesizing a situation, right? You're imagining. 볼 거예요. 하루 종일 보겠어요. 그리고 let me give you another example sentence just to make it clear for you guys. So let's say you are addicted to smoking. So you want to say, I would rather, let's make it extreme, guys. I would rather die than to quit smoking. You can say, this is so extreme. I really hope you never reach that place. And if you do, just come back to your sanity. But this is just an example sentence. So to quit smoking. 담배를 끊느니 차라리 죽겠어요. So both dying and quitting smoking is bad for you, but you would rather choose the latter one. So it means that. 그리고 아무것도 하지 않느니 rather than doing nothing, I would rather choose to give it a try. Yeah, 좋아요. Very good explanation, Sam. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kimin-님, for joining the class. I feel like you just joined. I don't remember seeing your name earlier, but welcome. We're almost done. So that's what 차라리 is. That's what 차라리's rather or instead mean. And 오히려는 rather, instead, as in the next sentence or the next clause The next thing, let me just say next clause. The next clause is more the case, more true. It could be negative, it could be positive, it doesn't matter. It means that is more the case, or that is what I feel like. 일단 볼게요. Let me give you an example sentence, guys. 예를 들어서 그러니까 오히려 to add more on 오히려 어디 갔어? To add more on 오히려 the implication, the subtle implication is that unlike normal unlike normal expectation, unlike how people would normally expect, the next case is more the case. So for example, 이거 진짜 좋아요. 시험에 although I failed the test, unlike people's expectation, I felt good because I became clear that this was not my path. This was not my path. Taking this test and passing and getting this job or whatever wasn't my path. So let's try that one. 시험에 you can say 떨어지다. Failed the test. 시험에 떨어졌지만 I failed the test, but rather, unlike people's expectation, because when you fail the test, normally people would expect that person to feel, not so positive, right? But unlike that, I was rather, 오히려, I was happy, 기뻤어요. Because, 왜냐하면, that path, 그 길이, 제 길이 아니라는 확신이 들게 했어요. This is actually a very good sentence, I think. Someone who has this kind of, mindset, I think is really healthy. 네. And we should all learn from this kind of person. I'm not talking about myself, guys. Don't get me wrong. 네. 일단 볼게요. This is just an example sentence. 시험에 떨어졌지만 오히려 기뻤어요. 오히려 기뻤어요. 왜냐하면 그 길이, that path, 내 길이 아니다. is not my path 라는 확신. So certainty that path is not my path. 이 들게 했어요. It made me become certain that this is not my path. Very optimistic person, and I think this comes from someone who is extremely grounded in reality and knows what she wants to do. So that's good. All right. 그 다음에 는이 처음 들어봤어요. 는이 is an important grammar for intermediate level learners. 는이 차라리 같이 외우세요. 같이. Many times it goes together. Okay, 그러면 다 끝났습니다. We're done with the lesson, and now let's do a quick quiz that I brought for you guys. 잠깐만요, 여러분. The quick quiz. This, you can consider it a Lunar New Year gift. Because I put extra effort in the quiz. Let's see. 잠깐만요. 휴. 어디 봅시다. 잠깐만요. Give me 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. 1 minute. I will put up a message here. Give me 1 minute before I put up the quiz page. Give me 1 minute. Owen님 has a good point. I think I need to study this again and then take the quiz. That is also a good idea. You know what's another good idea? You can take it now and then later again. 어때요? 그것도 괜찮을 것 같은데? 잠깐만요. Sorry, I got distracted. Let me open my website. All right, this is the one. I didn't need a whole minute. I just need 10 seconds. I just needed 10 seconds, it turns out. All right. Lunar New Year gift. TOPIK 2 grammar and vocabs. Let's go. I'm so excited. All right. 네가 뭘 하 blank 항상 응원해. Whatever you do, I always root for you. This expression is used in the context of something not being important, something not really matter, and you will still, continue to do something else. You will still continue to do it. You will not waver. 그렇죠. 든입니다. 든. 네가 뭘 하든 항상 응원해. Whatever you do, I always root for you. 그 다음에 이거 아까 여러분이 헷갈려 하던 문법이었어요. This is the grammar point that you guys were so confused about. 일단 볼게요. 눈 온다. A says, 눈 온다. It's snowing. B says, 그러게. You're right. 날씨가 추운가 봐. 추운 모양이에요. So it's choosing the incorrect one, guys. Incorrect one. 맞아요. 3번이 틀려요. 왜냐하면 을걸 can only be used when the listener and the speaker do not share the same, sorry, let me put it this way. The listener doesn't know why the speaker makes that assumption, right? But in this context, they're both watching the snow fall. They do share why B makes such assumption. So you can either say 추운가 봐 or 추운 모양이야, but not 추울걸. 그렇기 때문에 오답입니다. Next one. Which one is interchangeable with the underlined part? 토픽 4급에 합격할 정도로 to an extent where I pass level 4 of TOPIK test, 한국어 실력이 많이 늘었어요. My Korean skill improved a lot. So which one is interchangeable with this, guys? 그렇죠. 할 만큼. 좋아요. Next one. Select one sentence that means the same thing. 음식의 맛은 the taste of food. 요리하기 나름이다. Depends on how you cook, basically, right? So which one is the sentence that means the same thing? 음식의 맛은 어떻게 요리하든 중요하지 않다 means it's not important however you cook it, but it doesn't mean this. 음식의 맛은 요리하기가 쉽다. It's easy to cook the food's taste. It's not grammatically correct. It's not even grammatically correct, so pass. And 음식의 맛은 요리할 만하다. It's not that challenging to cook 음식의 맛. No, it's number 4. 음식의 맛은 요리하기에 달려있다. Literally, the taste of food hangs on cooking. So, it depends on how you cook. 그 다음에 number 5. What is not the meaning of 으려고 하다? 뭐뭐 하려고 하다. 려고 하다의 meaning이 아닌 것. 그렇죠. 4번이에요. 그러면 여러분, how would you say to tell someone to verb? What is the quotation grammar that corresponds to tell someone to verb? 어떤 게 있을까요? Almost correct, 장민님. 다고하다는 이제 plain sentence. It can be used for plain sentence, not imperative sentence. So, for imperative sentence, it should be 라고 하다. 뭐, 엄마가 청소하라고 했어요. My mom told me to clean something. So, 그렇죠. 기스님 라고예요. 그래서 이거 아니에요. Next one. 할머니께서는 my grandmother 저희에게 아까 용돈 기억나시나요, 여러분? Do you guys remember what 용돈 means? 용돈, it means pocket money. 용돈을 많이 blink 맛있는 음식도 많이 해주세요. So the hint is here, guys. The hint is at 도. 저희에게 to us pocket money 그렇죠. 뿐만 아니라 not only does she give us a lot of pocket money, but she also cooks us lots of good food. 그래서 주실 뿐만 아니라가 맞습니다. Next one. Select one incorrect match of word and meaning. Which one is wrong, guys? Which one is wrong? 교통비, transportation expenses. It is correct, right? 식비. 식 means food, so 식 means eating, so food expenses, correct? 그러면 여러분, 물건 구입비 is definitely the wrong match. Then what does it mean, guys? Do you guys remember 구입? Do you guys remember that I told you guys about 구입, 구매 being topics, two of the favorite words? 구입하다, 구입. 기억나시나요? What does 구입 mean? 그렇죠. Buying stuff, purchasing. 좋아요, 키스님. Wow, you've been paying attention, 키스님. 좋아요. I'm so impressed. Thank you. 그 다음에 next one. Blank 운동하면 if or when you work out in this way, 그 다음 날, the next day, 근육이, your muscle 너무 아플 거예요, will hurt a lot. So in what way do you have to work out for this to happen? 요나님 빠르셨네요. 그렇죠. 무리하게. We learned that 무리하다 means to go over your limit, but it doesn't mean positive thing. It's more like overwork yourself or overstrain yourself, right? 그래서 무리하게가 맞고요. 그 다음에 please show me your ID, as in something like your identification card or passport. What is that, guys? ID. 장민님, 구체적으로는 specifically란 뜻이에요. 그렇죠. 1번이죠. 1번. 신분증. 신분증 means your ID, identification card. 여권 is passport. 정체성 is like your own identity, which has to do with your inner quality. So it's far from being an ID. So 신분증 is the answer. 뭐야. 그 다음에 이거는요, 여러분. This one is the greet in type. So do you guys remember how to say twice? Do you guys remember how to say twice? 배 맞아요. 그러면 two times는 뭘까요, 키스님? Two times. 그렇죠. 2배입니다. 2배. 2배. 그래서 you can write 2배 here. It doesn't. I didn't put. I don't know why my iPad isn't recognizing Korean. Next one. 요리를 할 때는 when you're cooking, 레시피는 means recipe. The recipes blink에 맞춰서 by following the recipes blink 하는 게 좋아요. It is better to follow the recipes something when you're cooking. What would be that? 그렇죠. It's not 두께, it's not thickness, it's not issuing, it's order. So according to order. 좋아요. 그 다음에 what is the word interchangeable with 회사를 그만두다? So we learned that 그만두다 is a pure Korean word. So what would be its Sino-Korean equivalent? Sino-Korean equivalent, what would be that? 그렇죠. 퇴사하다, literally get off your company. So yeah, you resign. 그 다음에 그 책은, that book, 출판되자마자 as soon as it got published, 베스트셀러가 됐대요. It became a bestseller. So 많은 사람들의 뭐를 받았을까요? It received a lot of people's what? Bestsellers usually get people's what? People's 주목 or 상징 or 신경. So 상징 means symbol, so it's definitely not number 2. It's 주목. The reason why it's not number 3, 신경이 아닌 이유는요. 신경 does mean like caring. So caring can be correlated with attention, but 신경 simply is not used with 받다. When 신경 is used with 받다, it becomes a really unnatural sentence. So 주목 is a proper noun. That means attention that goes with 받다. To gain attention, 주목을 받다. All right, next one. Thank you for checking so thoroughly. Do you guys remember thoroughly? Thoroughly. KD 타타님 1번이라고 한 거 꼼꼼하게 하신 거 맞죠? 꼼꼼하게. 맞아요. 꼼꼼하게 means thoroughly. 화려하게 means splendidly, like looking so how do you say like 화려하다. What is a good English word for 화려하다? It's like it looks very very decorated. It looks so fabulous, splendid. That's what 화려하다 is. Most luxurious places look 화려하다, or luxurious dresses look 화려하다. 다음에 fancy. All right. 좋아요. Yes, 화려하다, fancy. 그 다음에 자율적으로 means autonomously, so it's 꼼꼼하게. Next one. 열심히 했는데 I worked hard. I put in a lot of effort. But 선생님의 기대에 my teacher's expectation에 blank지 못해서 속상하대요. I didn't meet my teacher's expectations, so I feel sad. 그렇죠. 기대에 미치다. We learned that 미치다, first of all, means to go crazy, but secondly, it also means to reach something, for something intangible or abstract, to reach something. So 기대에 미치다, to reach one's expectation, so meet one's expectation. 미치지 못해서 속상해요. 그 다음 가볼게요. 상한 음식을 먹느니, 여러분, 느니 뭐랑 같이 가는지 기억하라고 했죠? Do you guys remember when I said you should memorize 느니 with this particular adverb? Do you guys remember what it was? 그렇죠. 차라리 상한 음식을 먹느니 차라리 굶겠어요. Literally, I would rather starve than to do the first clause, than to eat bad food. 상한 음식을 먹느니 굶겠어요. 차라리 굶겠어요. 그 다음에 시험에 떨어졌지만 저는 이거 this is the exact same example sentence that I showed you guys during class. 맞아요. This example sentence was at the very top of my head and I wasn't sure why, but then right, because I made it into a quiz. Now I remember. 굶다 starve입니다. 그래서 그렇죠. 오히려예요. 오히려. 왜냐하면 시험에 떨어졌을 때는 people normally expect you, usually people would feel not so positive, right? But unlike that, rather I was so happy. 그 길이 저에게 맞는 길이 아니라는 확신이 들게 했거든요. 그래서 오히려입니다. 일단은 다 맞았을 거예요. Unless I slip my finger. Yes, we got all of them correct. 그리고 I also have the Quizlet set, guys. Quizlet set는 오늘 안 할 거예요. We're not going to go over the Quizlet set because that's going to take too much time. But I will leave it in the link for you guys to review. What an awesome teacher I am, right? Generous teacher I am. Such a generous gift for you guys because I wanted you to spend your Lunar New Year studying and reviewing what we learned today. So that's why I prepared a lot of gifts. So yes, I will share the link to Quizlet in the description box or comment section as always, right? If you have been on my channel, you know the drill, right? All right. 그러면 여러분, I will end the class here. Thank you so much. Unlike 저는 사실 usually my intermediate level classes don't have a lot of audience, a lot of viewers. So I kind of expected there won't be much people joining. But 오히려 많았어요. 오히려 굉장히 많아서 너무 기뻤어요. I was so happy because a lot of you guys joined and actively participated. So thank you. 웬니, wow, perfect review sentence. 볼만한 시험이었어요. It wasn't that challenging of a test to take. 선생님의 기대에 미치지 못해서 죄송해요. Sorry, I didn't meet your expectation. You did. wen님은 항상 열심히 해주니까 제가 항상 기억하고 있습니다. I always remember your name. 네, you almost never miss my life. I remember that too. Miss Vicky, are you going to upload the live video later? Yes. 맞습니다. It's automatically up, guys. After the live, I don't have to click on anything. It's just automatically up. So you guys don't need to worry about that, okay? It's not me uploading. It's just automatically uploaded on my channel. Alright, 그럼 여러분 새해 복 많이 받으세요. 새해 복 많이 받으시고 I will see you guys in my next class or video. And 네. Alright. 복 많이 받으시고 저희는 다음에 만나요. I will end the class here, guys. I will click on the finish button. 감사합니다, 여러분. 안녕. 오늘 진짜 많은 정보를 공부해서 꼭 복습할게요. 오케이, 좋아요. Learning a lot from your video. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Okay, I will really finish the sentence. I will really click on the finish button now. 안녕. 봉순이 아빠님 아직도 계셨어요. 라이브 보시느라 수고하셨습니다. 차장님. 봉순이 너무 귀여워요. 푹 쉬세요. 그럴게요. 안녕, 여러분. 안녕.